Alrighty, folks. Looks like we're live. I am Skipjack Gahl here at your service. We will be doing two things today. We'll give you a little rundown on how to properly clean a fish, and at the same time, we're gonna do a little review deal on the CUTCO Fisherman solution knife that we have right here. This is far and away the greatest knife I've ever owned, and I'm not just saying that. Recently, my mother and stepdad actually got this for me for Christmas as a gift. And, they know I've been a commercial fisherman for a few years now, and I've fished my entire life, but just recently in the last 3 or 4 years, I've done it for profit as a full-time commercial fisherman. And needless to say, I've gone through all different types of knives. I've gone through Rapala knives, Dexter Russell knives, you name it. I've tried it, I've experienced it. The Bubba blade, it's got a really fancy handle on it. The blade is pretty much crap to me compared to something like this. And here again, it is a little bit more expensive of a knife. You will pay about 3 times what you pay for a Bubba blade, but then again, if you knew that you'd have to pay one main price to have one knife for the absolute rest of your life, I feel like you would do that. So let me kind of break down what this knife is all about here. As you can see, it's got a really incredible sheath here that kind of keeps it safe from everything. And this, before we get going, it kind of doubles as a line cutter, which is really neat. So I'll just take like a basic rig here. This is like the bottom half of a little Carolina rig. So if we got snagged on something, so we're hung up, and I just need to cut this real quick. Oh, wow, that seemed pretty effortless there. So it's good to just have that as a feature, an additional feature, I should say. You got this on your hip, something comes up, you got to quickly cut a line, just pop it in that guy, give it a quick tug, and you're back in business. And then as I pull the knife out, you can notice, you got a lot of flexibility to it, as you should. If you're skinning a fish, you want to kind of have the flexibility there to kind of keep it flush with your surface, to kind of give it a good strike all the way through. And then one thing that I thought was absolutely amazing about this knife is the simple fact that, we're obviously constantly catching all different class sizes of these fish, some 1 to 2 pound fish, others might be a 30 to 40 pound fish. So needless to say, if I'm filleting a fish like this vermilion snapper, it might only need just the 6-inch blade as you see here. But why would you want to have to switch to an entirely different knife for a longer blade size if you could just simply slide this same blade out and extend it from a 6-inch to a 9-inch? And then it just locks back in place effortlessly like that. So again, just when you think you're done showing off all the features of this knife, it really does kind of keep getting better and better. And as you can see at the very bottom of this knife, there is a hole. It's just kind of provided to you there for easy cleaning of this knife. I can unlock it again, and you can actually pull that entire blade out. It is 100% dishwasher safe, so you can just pop it right in the dishwasher, no problem. It's not going to be an issue for you. And then you can kind of rinse that clean, no problem. I've seen on a lot of the other reviews of the Fisherman solution, people were complaining that it can cause an odor. A lot of fish stuff can get in there. It gets a little funky. But here again, if you're constantly washing it, rinsing it through your dishwasher properly, after every time you use it filleting these fish, I don't see why it should smell. But then again, these guys that are just leaving it on their boat for God knows how long, of course, anything would get a little funky. And then we'll slide this guy back in there. So again, it can go from a 6 to a 7 to an 8, or an 8 to a 9. It doesn't have to be just a 6 to a 9. So a lot of different options there. And on the back side, you'll notice, which is really cool, it's got a built-in sharpening stone, which I thought was pretty awesome. And so you don't need to buy a separate sharpening stone, just adding yet another cost to the adventure. And then we have the barb sharpener here, so you can kind of effortlessly, as you can see, you can just get it in that little groove and just slide it up and down. either towards you if you're very careful, or I like to do away from you just so it's not causing a safety issue. And you can just get it sharpened up and ready to go again. See, it's like in a couple quick strikes, that's razor sharp again. And then, last but not least, this kind of doubles also as a gripper. So you can, like so, pop it in our little snapper's mouth here, and it's almost like, you know, one of those, what are those, Bubba, you know, those gripper, what are those things? But anyway, I thought it'd be more beneficial to actually have a fish that you can show how to clean, and also, you know, touch on the performance features of the knife here with the Fisherman solution, putting it to the test rather than just sitting at a desk or something telling you what it'll do. So instead of telling you what it's going to do, I'm actually going to show you what it's going to do. All right. So anytime I clean a fish, I like to just first kind of outline the fish. So we'll kind of just go like that, and then we'll come up his backbone here. Gonna let go of him for a little while, and then I just kind of just outline him like that. Wow, you're just effortlessly pushing down, and he's halfway filleted himself pretty much. As you can see, I mean, I'm just taking the lightest little strikes along that spine, trying to get every little bit of that guy. And then I like to flip them over as I go, so I don't fully cut that off, because what it is I feel like we've all made the mistake before. Well, not even really a mistake, I should say. We've all had the learning experience of fully removing one side of the fish, and then you go to flip him over to get the other side, and it just doesn't work right. He's just laying all funky and just doesn't end up looking too good. So I get it going. I get most of the meat off the one side, probably about 2/3 of the meat, until it kind of meets the belly cavity there. And then I'll flip him over, and then I just kind of do the same thing just to the other side. Just kind of outline this side. And you can see I'm just barely slicing along. And then we'll kind of go under these fins. So this way, you see what I'm saying? The spine is almost fully out.
Mm-hmm.
And then now when we go to take it off, it's just, it saves you one extra step, and it's a lot easier. And above all, you get 100% yield of your fillet. And that's really the most important thing, to get every bit of that meat off of there. Give it a good strike. And should have a nice clean fillet there for the dinner table. And as you can see, we've got every last bit of that meat off of there. And then we'll flip them over and get this other side. This will be a good little snack for us for later. We oystermen, we work up an appetite pretty easy out there in the marsh, so a nice little snapper dinner will be a good way to finish off the night. And I like to lay them flesh on flesh so it doesn't dry out. Just kind of stack them up just like that. Nice pretty fillet. So now you should always kind of be able to see a little bit of daylight in the spine. I mean, obviously it's not a 100% perfect job. Could have done a little bit better on this guy, but for the most part it's okay. And then now I'll just J-cut this guy. So there'd be all these pin bones, kind of starts at the top of the belly cavity, and it works kind of halfway down the body of the fish. So we'll just kind of go straight down here, You don't want to lose too much of the meat, and then just roll those rib bones out like that. So now we haven't taken a whole lot off. You're not losing a lot of overall weight, but you're making it quick and convenient for by the time someone comes in to hopefully purchase one of these fillets. When they get to their house and get ready to feed their family, they won't have to worry about anybody getting poked or chomping down on a, very painful bone of any kind. So now that's rigged and ready to go. Do the same thing to this other side. Roll that guy out. Clean them up a bit. It's easy to be a perfectionist when you start filleting all these fish, because I will say the difference between someone that fillets okay and someone that is an absolute samurai, like my buddy who taught me, I mean, it's just a night and day difference. Those people that are like ninjas with the fillet knife in their hand. All right, so now we got two really pretty fillets, deboned, ready to rock, and then I will even skin them. Well, let's extend the knife, show off a little bit, extend our blade. And just effortlessly strike it through. The skin is all the way off, as you can see. The same thing to that other guy. And remember, as you're first learning, don't be so concerned with the quantity of your fillets. If you got 50 pounds of fish, focus on the quality of each fillet rather than how many you can do and how fast you can do them. You'll have a lot more fingers that way too. All right, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have enjoyed the footage. It's been great. I know I'm certainly going to enjoy this knife for the rest of my entire life. Oh, and last but not least, if you want to zoom in on this, I think this is pleasing for everybody to see. The Forever Guarantee.
American made.
American made, and the guarantee is forever. So, yeah. Do yourself a favor. Spend about $160, $170 after shipping and get one knife that'll literally last you for the rest of your life. Take care.